Hey there, my friend. I think it's time we talk about success differently. Entirely differently. So, what I mean by that, the way that success has been kind of taught for most, especially a masculine man, success is like what we do because if we don't, we're losers. It's like you win so you don't lose, you succeed so you don't fail. And there's this element of grrr and fighting and rah 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 to it, which is actually effective. But if you know anything about the duality of life, it's all masculine. It's hyper masculine. The business world is hyper masculine. And so, how I started to realize this was I was starting a couple of businesses, and one of them got into this technology accelerator program. And so we were in this situation where we had access to all these mentors and access to all of these investors, and we were pitching to these investors, and there was not a single woman that is leading any of these businesses, which is a doggone shame for so many reasons. But there wasn't a woman in the whole thing. And so I realized that startup culture is mostly dominated by men. And not that that's bad. Obviously, we want more women in there, but the challenge there is that it's dominated by masculine energy. The fact that it's dominated by men wouldn't ruin society if it wasn't the case that it's dominated by ungrounded masculine energy. And this is the real challenge, is that anybody who wants to be seen in the world doing their thing, seen in the world for their truth, encounters a very harsh world where immediately it's, how does that make money? How does you furrow your eyebrow? You think with the masculine side of your brain, you furrow your eyebrow, and you're like, how does that make money? Where's the blah 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 blah? How do you impress people? How do you scale that? Gah, I don't even know the exact words, but I'm sure you felt that, where it's like you have to have all of your shit together to show up in the world. And I came to find this very imprisoning, because I realized that my gift to bring to humanity is my creativity. My truth is the most valuable thing I could bring. Because after that masculine facade came down, here's the funny thing. We would all go to the bar. Everybody in the accelerator program would go to the bar, kick back and relax, and then progressively try to chip away at our facades so that we could have real heartfelt connection with each other. And then the next morning, wake up and go do the brand thing where we're just running businesses to make money. I think this is a ridiculous way to approach business. And of course, not every business is like this, but I think every business should be an extension of the energy of your heart. I think every business should just be a vessel through which you give the overflow of your self-love. That's how I've begun to think about business. So I help clients think about their business. And it's just way more freaking fun. Because now your job is just love yourself, explore yourself, share your gifts of creativity with the world in all sorts of new ways. Instead of the old way, which is that you are your brand, you are your business, you are your job, you are your identity that you've sold people. So you have to just continue doing that. And then your job becomes holding up the facade. It's a totally different paradigm. Totally different paradigm to think about things. And I know for myself, being an ungrounded masculine man for much of my life, that this seems like heresy a lot of the time. It seems like a wimp, It seems like being a wuss. It seems like copping out on what they taught you on the football team. It seems like copping out on what they taught you in the gym class. But the truth is, we were misinformed about where joy and fulfillment really come from. We need to keep that warrior element of us, for sure, to be able to do things when things get challenging, when businesses get challenging, of course. I'm not encouraging spiritual bypass. I am just saying that you fight so you can win, so that you can enjoy the process, not someday. Have an element of capability and action that empowers love, not ego. It's a critical distinction. So what I call this is emerging as a love leader. Not just a love meditator who doesn't do anything, and not just a hustling winner or hustling leader, But I picked those two words because it shows a balance between the masculine and feminine. Which is, if you look at across our society, that's all that's really happening. We're just moving from all masculine to a little bit more balanced masculine-feminine. You could see this in the fact that rich Western businessmen fly to the Amazon to take Amazonian plant medicine and pay tens of thousands of dollars for the whole thing. There's a balance, an emergence of balance and alignment with higher levels of consciousness that's happening on our planet right now. And continuing to follow the old paradigm of doing things in such a way that we know will help us win isn't really going to serve anybody. You can tell by how this feels. I would ask you to just check how your body feels right now when I'm proposing these concepts to you. Like if I tell you, like, you can live your truth, just stay in your heart and your passion and your purpose and your creativity and do the things that you love every morning, and then continue doing those things in the world. And then as you do those things enough, look around you and see who's getting the most value from it, and then see how that value can solve problems in their life. And then solve those problems at scale because we have the internet now. That's a business. Solving problems at scale and getting paid the value that you give people. That's a business. Doesn't that feel great? Like your creativity. Before I made videos like this, in my earlier businesses, I didn't make any videos. I was barely seen. Before I made videos like this, I would leave the thing in the laptop all day, and I'd go talk to my steering wheel. This is like what I am crafted to do. I love to talk like this. I love getting in front of people and inspiring them by helping them explore a deeper truth inside of their soul so they can align with a clear direction of their purpose and mission. I love that more than anything in the world. And now I get to do that all day, every day. It's the greatest thing ever. And this is like what we're really emerging into because we have the internet that we can connect with anybody anywhere. We're emerging into this new thing where we don't just have to have what looked good to our neighbors on the yellow pages be our business. Because that's really where this old paradigm came from. We can only rise to the average level of consciousness of the tribe around us. So in the 50s, yeah, you're not going to be a shaman. But in 2019, you can. You know, you just really just let your freak flag fly. Somebody out there wants it. And that's the most liberating thing, I think. It's when we realize that we can be ourselves and that the universe is here to support that. It's here to support that. There is a flow. I think the critical distinction between traditional personal development, which is like the father of traditional entrepreneurship. It's like get personally developed and look at the world in an empowering way and overcome your story. You know, that's very energizing and very motivating and exciting in its own way. And it assumes separateness from everything else. It assumes that you are cut off from everybody else. And that if you don't win and get yours, that you're a loser or you die. Or bad shit happens. The alternative is instead of waking up and running towards what you, with your ego or intellect or brain, decided was your goal, instead of waking up and sprinting at that, what if you relaxed and sat in and got to really know yourself and got to really know what's true for you, who you really are? Find the creativity in that place that emerges in the form of what excites you. Not what outcomes excite you, what actions excite you. What can you love the process of? It's going to have something to do with creativity. And then in the loving of that thing, when you are in alignment with that thing, it wakes up the same curious, childlike love and desire to connect in everybody else. And because the universe works through other people and life forms and things, you start to see synchronicity everywhere. And you realize that the universe has your back. In the same way that if you ever lived with friends, you knew that if you had a terrible day, they would have your back. They're there to support you. And they want you to clean your shit up after you. The universe is the same way. Working in the world is the same way. It's not like I have to clean the whole house and never show my emotions and never have a hard day and be perfect all the time. That's like what traditional entrepreneurship is like. And emerging as like this leader that's like got it all figured out. No. Instead, it's also on the other side of things. It's not just everybody's always here for me. You know, it's all going to happen for me. Somebody else is going to clean my room. That's like what some spiritual bypass is, where you think you're going to meditate and do a vision board and law of attraction is just going to bring you your mansion. Ain't going to happen, pal. Ain't going to happen. I almost say I wish it would, but I'm going to say I don't, because it's the process of the doing and evolving and expanding that really brings us true joy. None of us are fulfilled when we're fed like a house cat. None of us are fulfilled when we just get our riches winning the lottery. We think we will be fulfilled when we're so deep in our like a shitty situation that we feel like we are powerless to change, that we want somebody to give us a lottery ticket that will help us find our truth. It won't help you find your truth. It'll just give you a house that you can't afford property taxes on. And then you'll lose it, like almost all, lottery winners do. And so the opportunity that's emerging as the alignment between masculine and feminine is starting to emerge, and we're starting to see how it's practical, as this rebalancing of the yin and the yang, or the duality of the universe, is starting to happen. Basically, as people are realizing that they can cool it and continue daily action with their creativity through the internet and be paid for it. As that's all happening, we're seeing a new possibility of a love leader, a new possibility of love leadership, a new possibility of you courageously speaking your truth and being seen for who you really are, and seeing for yourself that the universe supports that abundantly without you having to fight for it. The only thing you have to fight is your own mind that gives you the self-doubt. Everything else is here to love you. Everything else is here to love you, including me, my friend. I love you dearly. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Emerge in the world as a love leader, and see that you don't have to fight to be deserving of love.